into glitch events so far. This is the third event, which is awesome because now you get to see potentially the rise of Rising throughout these tournaments because you have so many here in, out here at Xanadu.
Yeah, and it's a good point to touch on, just kind of how you were saying a lot of people came back to Pound because of their first event. A lot of people, this is their first major, you know?
Yep.
So we'll find out. Will rise to the occasion, or will Gooby, you know, Gooby, please, give him one of those.
This one could be incredibly fun for many because when it comes to Ganondorf, Ganondorf doesn't get to play the game too often when he's getting pushed off stage like right now, and he somehow gets through all of that. But Ganondorf is definitely a crowd favorite. Bayonetta is a bit more liked of late because of like the way her changes are, and I really like watching good Bayos go as we see Rising take a trip all the way up to the very top of the blast zone and already losing the first stock.
And you said you like to see good Bayos go. Well, Gooby is definitely rising to the occasion on that one. I mean, almost toying with Rising at the moment, you know? Like,
the thing that's so difficult about that too is because Ganondorf doesn't have a really quick out of like disadvantage option. You hit Nair and usually they'll wait, but it's hard to challenge that because Pharaoh 1 from Bayo is so quick.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, just devastating. And yeah, you're really, really heavy, but your recovery is lackluster, and apparently you just die off the top every single time. Gooby relentless on this onslaught right now.
Gooby keeping it going. You got to watch out for afterburner kick from the ledge right there because that will be a huge combo starter. Rising needs to hold shield, wait for a commitment from Gooby, but it's hard to do now because you're so far behind. Big dash attack punish, if you could catch it up like an ABK coming in with an up smash, you will get a quick stock, like right there, but Gooby waited at ledge and bounced to try and bait the option first before he went.
Yeah, and I mean, you were touching on the fact that, Rising needs to kind of shield a little bit. Gooby had not grabbed Rising at all. It's single time this entire game. I mean, to be fair though, it hasn't needed to.
Yeah, it's mostly just been off of straight hits. And that command grab's pretty solid too, but you got to be careful where you put it. You see, Gooby's giving Rising a lot of respect right now because you're up 2 stocks. There's no reason for you to approach right now. Rising has to make something happen here.
Yeah, and trying to do it, but Gooby just so aware, knowing that pretty much the burst range of Ganondorf stops right at that spot and just backs up a little bit and goes for the easy punish.
Yeah, very smart play right now. Rising is in a spot where it's like, okay, start thinking about the next game. You can make comebacks as Ganondorf if you can catch an up air or an air right here. Fading away is Gooby to the ledge to avoid that. If that didn't clip, that was a free punish, but he just got the clip with the ABK.
Ooh, and finishing with an up smash?
Yeah.
All right, Gooby, 3 stock, looking easy. Really clean stuff. I mean, if you're Rising, again, aside from shield, you do have to slow it down. Maybe go for some of those edge guards. You know, it's really difficult for Bayonetta to sweet spot the ledge. I'm not sure if it's fully possible. Some people say you
can sweet spot
but
it,
I think it's really difficult.
Yeah, the thing is usually when you know they're going to go for it at a certain point. So you could do a few things as Ganondorf. Even though it's a bit reckless, you also want to try and catch them with maybe a down air on the side, but without going off stage, because that way if you take a hit, you get sent into center stage. You can also get real brave and go for an up tilt to just force them to get scared, but mostly you want to cover ledge with short hop nairs and such. That way you can make them stay. They lose invincibility, then you go hit them with something like a down tilt.
Yeah, a few options there, even though they're a little risky, but still you have them and you might be gone again.
God.
I hope you can DI it, and you cannot. And Gooby, fresh 18 right there.
Gooby also paid to play this game along with you. Excuse me, Rising also paid to play this game along with you. Rising trying to have some fun as well, but this is this is what happens to characters like Ganondorf against combo-based characters like Bayo. It's hard to touch the ground. You usually have to play whiff punish heavy. Unfortunately, there is no whiffs to be had because Gooby has just been all over him and he just cannot connect. That's a stop.
Again, yeah, and also, unfortunately, Rising doesn't seem to know how to DI it properly. Of course, there's SDI to kind of get out of some things and make it more difficult. But even the first forward air that hit him off the side of the stage, he lived, but he didn't DI properly. You could see how far to the left he went, and that's definitely playing a role right now, that kind of lack of understanding of this matchup.
Speaking of good understanding, Gooby also understands very well how to not get caught by Ganondorf, because Ganondorf has the fear factor of existing as Ganondorf. You win neutral 2 times and you're at kill percent. Gooby's refusing to do anything until he sees either a commitment from Rising, like that, or he realizes that Rising is holding forward too much, and then he catches him with a better burst option like side B.
Yeah, and also having the patience and just, but you did get hit. The sword came out, Rising is swinging. I mean, hopefully not too little too late, but we're about to find out. Okay,
you never know with Ganondorf because stocks can disappear quickly. You got to be careful where you put those, but I like the idea because Gooby's constantly been rushing you down in that spot. It's not going to work every time, but if you get a reversal down air maybe, Yeah, he's still not respecting him at ledge. Like, once you start the initial dash, you can't get shield up quick enough to actually respond to that.
Yeah. It's one of those things you got to kind of preemptively know that it's coming out. And a lot of players are unaware of that, but you can't shield immediately when you dash, and it really catches a lot of people off guard. Well, going for a down smash this time and paying for it dearly. Gooby 2-0 and only losing a single stock that set.
Yeah, Gooby looking like there was no fall off whatsoever from the Bayo from before to now. And I know that we bring up this character a lot when we talk about Bayo being on the screen because there's so few.
Yeah.
But Gooby took a good long break, came back, looks like it hasn't missed a beat. It was against the Ganondorf, so the combos were really easy to connect on.
For sure.
But you still have